It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got some storm clouds out there right now and turbulent sea conditions. Probably not unlike what we got going on in this country right now economically for quite some time. You're sitting out here in the sunshine, you're waiting for the thing just to dump on you at some point, but when? That's the whole question. But, you know, we live our lives around not if it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen. Let's take a look at markets here, and we've got a couple things we're going to talk about. I want to talk about products as well. We're going to get into 90% U.S. silver coin. I'm going to talk about generics. I also want to discuss maybe the products, and we do this quite frequently, but you know, product premiums do change on the bids and the asks. So I'm kind of want to point you again. One of my strong points here, which I haven't been doing lately, is not one of my strong points. My strong point and my big advantage that I have over most of the YouTube talking heads that are like me. A lot of us guys out there have different expertise. You have the guys out there that are chartists that are very good at that in precious metals, and you get the guys out there that look at it from the more on the retail buyer side of it, which is really cool videos as well. But my expertise is in the physical retail and wholesale markets. I understand the product better than most people. I know where the product comes from, sources. You know, I'm on the front lines as far as the product, not the paper, not the charts, but I'm on the front line when it comes to the retail and wholesale physical market. So I think I can always help you folks out with that. That's one of my strong points. Of course, you know, I like to talk the economics. I like to talk charts and other things too. I'm learning as I go as well as you are. We're learning together, I guess. A little stormy. Our weather's pretty nice here still for our South Florida peeps. 68 degrees, man. Can't beat that. Again, a little northern storms coming in. That's the north right there, if you're wondering which way I'm facing here. That's the north. Over here is the south. Miami this way over here, and Palm Beach right up this way here. And we're kind of situated in the middle somewhat. Let me take a look at oh boy, that was yesterday's. I'm sorry about that. Didn't even have a theme for it today. Sorry about that, folks. So let me skip that. I usually like to do a little quote in the mornings, but man, I forgot about the quote today. Let's just get straight into metals and see what's happening. And then again, that'll get us quicker to talking about what the best deals are out there. Currently up a little bit too. I'm liking this. Look at silver though. Silver down again. That's just your commercial short positions banging it downwards again, as they typically do, and we'll look at that here in a moment as well when we see the 24-hour charts and when and where it happens. 1806. Yesterday we were a little bit subpar 1800 in the morning, and then yesterday, you know, and then it kind of popped up in that 1802 range. This is our 200-day moving average, more or less. I believe it's 1808, 1810, right in that range. Sitting at 1806, just a few dollars from that. Gold's held its own very well. You know, last week's monkey hammering, again, that's my favorite word, as you know, was the best way to describe it too, because that's exactly how they do it. But last week's hammering on gold was a $50 drubbing, more or less. But it didn't stay there that long. Gold reacted very quickly, rubber banded back, you know, and kind of sitting right in that high 17 range. And again, today, last few days, it's puffing above that 1800. Silver, not so much. Silver kind of took a big hit. I mean, we were looking at the high 23s there for a bit, 24 or something like that. Now, and it got basically banged $1.50 on the low side, but again, kind of rubber banding, snapping back, it appears. The low of 22.51 in the overnight markets, we were dipping into the low 22s there for a bit, and a high of 22.88. We did see a $23 mark yesterday intraday, but it didn't stay there long before, again, they drubbed it downwards. The most manipulated market out there in COMEX for its size, is the silver market. It's just absolutely ridiculous that CRIMEX, the CME group, allows this to happen. I guess it's not. I mean, we all know the reason they allow this type of behavior to happen is because they make a lot of money on it. They make a lot of money from these commercial banks that do this, so they're not going to end that until they have to. but at some point they will have to, and it looks like that end game is coming near. Again, as I said in the beginning of the video, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Take a look at platinum too, getting back up into that mid-$1,000 mark. 1,042 right now. Looks like the low 1,026 and a high 1,045, and looking good. All I saw last week when markets got hammered, the gold and silver markets got hammered, the platinum markets, and I called it actually. Here's what I have noticed, and it's been consistent even to last week's Fed jawboning. Every time you hear the Fed's going to come out and make an announcement, especially when it has something to do with raising rates, especially, all right? Whenever that happens, that is when the big commercial manipulators come into COMEX and they monkey hammer the gold and silver markets. Not because what the jawboning, what the Fed is saying has anything to do or any relationship to the price of gold and silver, but because it's an opportune time for them to do that and not make it look like they're, you know what I'm saying? They use the Fed jawboning when he's going to come out and say something. They use that opportunity to monkey hammer the markets down. They've been doing this for a long time, folks. It's just a pattern that I see, and you got to remember, I watch this every day, Mondays through Fridays. I'm sitting in front of that stupid screen. Okay, I feel like the Maytag repairman now. Sorry about that. I sit in front of the screen and watch these prices go up and down, and there's patterns that develop. And again, the pattern that has developed for a long time is that you can pretty much bet that when the Fed's going to jawbone it, the market manipulators are going to knock the price down. All right, and that's what happened last week. Expected it, and as I told you, a great opportunity to buy the dips when they do that. Again, if you're not in a position to buy these dips, just wait and hold. Don't panic. In fact, most of you seasoned gold and silver people right now have been through a lot of these dips here in the last few years, if not decades, like I have. It doesn't worry you at all. You just know that at some point it's just going to go higher and higher. They can't hang on to this. They can't hang on to the tail of this dragon for sure much longer. Well, let's take a look at the 24-hour charts and see what we got going on here. And again, I want to talk about product here today, so we're going to do that. Maybe talk a little bit about the news. I was looking at the unemployment figures. Not too good. Good for the price of gold and silver, but not too good for the country. Let's take a look at the 24-hour spot gold prices here. I'm going to do a quick refresh, and let's see where the activity happened. Interestingly enough, it looks like last night's markets, and there we go, 4, 8, 20. Yeah, well, actually yesterday, it looks like yesterday after the New York Crimex markets open. There you go, New York Globex, early night, last night's markets, real late at night. Late at night. Sorry about that. My brain went somewhere else here for a moment. Take a look at that. Markets kind of went up last night, and in the COMEX markets this morning, up quite a bit. There's that rubber band effect from last week's drubbing that we saw, I believe. We're getting back into, again, this mark of 1810, which is our 200-day moving average. This is very healthy, I think, folks. Last week's drubbing was healthy, I believe, as well. Let's take it, and it shows you that they're almost out of ammo with this. Give me 1 second here. Let me shut that off. Sorry about that. I thought I did turn that off. There we go. And let's take a look at silver and see when this happened. And there we go right there. Look, gold completely opposite direction, especially in New York, up. And take a look at the silver markets. Again, I believe silver markets are the most highly manipulated markets out there. And the reason for this down right here is they're just trying to cover their short positions. According to Ted Butler, after last week, their losses of the 4 big commercial banks was about $8.3 billion. So they had lowered their overall cost a little bit to cover those positions. Let's take a look at a few things here, which is, give me 1 second here. Let's look at and see what the markets are doing out there, equity markets. Strange, really odd. And take a look at that. Dow is down by 53 points, more or less kind of flat. And same thing with S&P and NASDAQ. Is this kind of like the calm before the storm? I mean, when I say storm, does that mean the storm is to the upside or the downside? I don't know, man. I kind of think that we're seeing the these markets, these equity markets, are starting to go down. I think that once they start moving below their averages and stuff, or their yearly averages, their 200-day moving averages, you're going to just start seeing. Well, let's take a look here. Let's look at the last 6 months. Year to date. No, let's look at it 1 year and see if that shows us the picture a little bit better. Yeah, there's the height of the market right there, 36,000. Well, hold on, 36,700. So basically 37,000 in the Dow. And where do we sit today? We're sitting at 35,000. So, oh boy, and there's another low right there. I think if they get another low below 34, that's probably not good. But again, I'm not an expert in that stuff, and you know, don't even know what to say there. Bitcoin down a little bit as well, and let's see, 37. Yeah, it was at 38 a little bit earlier. And let's see what else is going on out here. This was interesting. Seeking Alpha had a I guess the World Gold Council put out their year-end results for 2021. I would scroll up and down on this, but literally this is pages and pages of data right here. And I really didn't have time to go through it and try to digest it this morning, but you can find it on Seeking Alpha and other places as well. What did catch my eye is the difference in 2020 and 2021 between investment silver and take a look at the investment silver markets. It looks like it was down, you know, 1773 down to 1,007, down 43%. That's pretty substantial, actually, you know, over the year, course of the year. Bar and coin, on the other hand, does this make sense to you? Investment in what is it? Gold is down. You know, investment monies is down in ETFs and other things. Yet bar and coin sales are up. I don't know, man. That's kind of weird. Again, the tail and the dog versus the tail. Who wags who here? And looks like a lot of the central banks too are up in their purchases. Look, India is up from 130, I think, 0.4 tons to 180, 43%. Their purchases went up from 2020 to 2021. Same thing with China, and gold-backed ETFs actually went down, but I believe that's part of the investment totals up here as well. But does that make any sense? Look at these paper markets, down in 2021 substantially, but all the physical markets, including central bank buying, is up substantially. It just makes no sense to me, folks. However, let me close your eyes if you get dizzy when I do this, but check out this. I mean, this is just pages. You're probably going to understand why I didn't want to read this. There we go. We're at the top. We were at the bottom there, too. Good article. It's called Gold Demand Trends Full Year 2021. If you want to pause this video right here and type this into your browser up here and read this today, you'll probably be ahead of me even, because I hadn't had a chance to take a look at it. But I'm sure it's full of some interesting information. One of the things, though, with World Gold Council is that they use official numbers to ascertain their numbers and their estimates, and they don't question those official numbers. So I believe a lot of the data that they may produce here is not entirely always correct. And there's also people out there, gata.org contends that the World Gold Council basically works for big central banks. So maybe true, not sure. Let's take a look at what's going on. Speaking of gata.org, not too much to talk about here. And let's see if there's anything here to read or anything. No, not too much, so I'm going to move along from here. If you're new to my videos, though, as you know, I always recommend that you definitely have gata.org on your bookmark bar. It's important, if you're a stacker, to know who the players are, how the game is rigged, because, again, of course it's rigged, but if you don't play, you can't win. I've been saying that for a long time. And we know how this game is rigged, so we're going to win. Not good news in the overall economic and political markets out there. U.S. debt hits $30 trillion for the first time, but for some reason I don't think anyone cares. It just gets worse and worse, and news gets worse and worse. And as I said, the dollar is going to get worse and worse. We're just the last horse to the glue factory. The Fed put, what else did I see out here that I thought was interesting? Global markets soar in the biggest 4-day rally since November. Does that make any sense to you? This is the kick in the ass right here, though. ADP signals biggest monthly job loss since 2020, COVID lockdowns. This does not bode well for this country, folks. And I suspect that we're starting to see the deflation of the greatest bubble of all time. Maybe this market crash is not going to be as visible as we thought it was. Again, I believe that economic markets, the corporate economic markets and central banks have figured out how to try to slowly let the air out of this bubble instead of letting it pop all at once. And I believe that's what we're seeing happening. The only reason the stock markets haven't crashed overnight like they were about a week or two ago, and like they were going to do in January, is I believe that the Fed, central banks, and the government kind of went in there and purchased a bunch of assets and propped those markets up. I think they realize that they can probably handle a sustained letting out of the air of this balloon as opposed to, again, a pop. But no less, none of this is good right here for the economy. Biggest monthly job loss since 2020, really? Whoa, that's tough. One of the things that I wanted to mention too here is that a lot of people get frustrated when it comes to silver being down. You see it go up a buck or two. You're going like last week or a week or two. We're hitting up that $24 point. After sitting at 21 for quite some time, and then it gets knocked down again. This is something I've seen for years and years and years, and I want to let the folks out there that are new to buying gold and silver, don't capitulate, folks. Nobody's capitulating in these markets. That's just paper bullshit going on in a very highly manipulated COMEX markets, or like we like to call it CRIMEX. Ted Butler puts here quite subtly, not subtly, but he says here, therefore I think we're well past the point when the big 8 shorts can hope to buy back all their shorts to get out even. Instead, I think it's more of a case of the 8 big shorts buying back as much as they can and already have, and then scrambling to the upside to minimize losses when prices turn higher for good. More or less what Mr. Butler's talking about there is that these commercial banks, they're at a cumulative loss on 4 of them at around $8 billion. Ted's saying that they may never get out of this short position because they've actually got to fill it with real silver. They've got to buy real silver to fill these positions. So, the chances of that happening are probably slim to none. Otherwise, this charade is going to continue for a long, long time. Mr. Butler believes that what they're going to do is they're going to cut their losses pretty soon and try to make the money on the upside, which is probably their smartest bet. But again, let's see, see if this does happen. All right, off to what I told you I was going to do is discuss the physical stuff that I'm really good at, physical products. And we're going to get into silver first. I was always a big fan of 90%, which is dimes, quarters, and halves here, but the current prices on them is just ridiculous. There's, the best deals out there, again, are the generic 1s, 10s, and 100-ounce products. I would avoid buying 90%. The only advantage to it is that there's no sales tax in Florida in some states because it's legal tender. But there's no sales tax on bars and other products in Florida if you're spending over $500. But if you're spending less than $500, there might be a small advantage because you don't have to pay the 7% sales tax in Florida on 90%. But 90% right now, you're probably looking at, I've got 90% sale for sale cheaper than anybody out there, cheaper than APMEX, JM, and SD by a long shot. And I wouldn't even recommend you buy it, but I still have it way cheaper. I've got it for the ask price, the spot price plus $5 per ounce. To me, that's still too much money, and I believe that APMEX, JM, and SD are probably out there. Their premiums at least probably $6 per ounce on that stuff. I would think $5.50 at the lowest, but I've got it at spot plus $5. Again, not a product that I would recommend. And Silver Eagles too. Silver Eagles are still too high out there, folks. What should you be paying for them if you insist on buying them? There's Silver Eagles right there. Boy, that's a pretty one here. Toned Silver Eagles. I got a bunch of them. Well, on Silver Eagles, I'm going to say, where's my Silver Eagle? I'm looking. Here we are down here. Yeah, the premiums are still crazy. If you want 2022s, you're going to pay more for it. I don't think it's worth it. Just wait till they come down to the price of the older ones. But you're going to pay. I have Silver Eagles cheaper than anyone has them for out there. I got them for the spot price plus $7.50 per ounce for my retail local customers. If you're out there in looking at APMEX, JM, and SD bullion, they're probably at spot plus minimum 8, probably 9 or 10 more than likely, so I can beat the pants off of APMEX, JM, and SD bullion on Silver Eagles. However, they are really pricey, and again, there's a lot better products to buy out there. What else as far as maple leafs? Let's take a look at the maple leafs and silver. And silver maple leaves, there we go. Let's kind of take a look and see what they are. Silver maples are currently Wow. Wow, I'm looking like on the sheets here, I can't find any ask prices. I find the buy prices out there, but I suspect if silver maples are available, they're going to at least be spot plus $5.50, $6 or more. Again, I would advise not to buy them at that price. There are better products out there. And you asked me, Brian, what is the better products? Here's the best deals out there. I'm going to go down 100-ounce generic silver bars, okay? I'm going to type it in so you can get a visual as we go as well. These are the best deals out there by far for silver, but again, larger increments. I'll get into the smaller increments first, which are better deals. The larger increments are going to run you spot plus $3.25 per ounce or less, depending on the quantities that you're buying. But you should expect to pay no more than, expect to pay no more than spot plus $3.50. Again, my prices, I will beat the three biggies, Atmex, JM, and SD bullion on these. What else is out there that's a good deal? We'll take a 1-0 off that. There's another good deal out there. Again, better than Silver Eagles, better than 90% Constitution, and a lot better than a lot of products out there. 10 ounces are going to run you maybe spot plus where are we? Spot plus, $3.50 at the most, spot plus $3.25 in that range for 10-ounce bars, and you should be paying no more than that. We have them for sale. And 1-ounce bars, let's see, what are 1-ounce generic bars are going to be? We got plenty of those. 1 ounce should be no more than spot plus $3.50. And they can be less too, depending on the quantity that you're buying. But these are, those are not 1-ounce generic silver bars. Let's say put in rounds. I wouldn't recommend any of those products right there. There you go, generic 1-ounce silver rounds. Any of these products right here, and they come in all different designs. At spot plus $3.50, no more than that. And again, I advertise to be Atmex, JM, and SD bullion. If you have a local dealer, and I recommend you deal with local people, keep that money in your town, folks. They should be able to match those prices I just gave you. As far as gold goes, Gold Eagles, still too much money in my opinion. They're running that, depending on the quantities that you're buying. I think on singles, you're probably out there at a spot plus 115. We got them for cheaper than that. Again, we advertise to beat the biggies out there. So Gold Eagles, I think, are a little bit too overpriced. What is a Gold Eagle? 1 second. Let me see what the level those are at. Yeah, you're looking at probably spot plus 115 and less. On smaller quantities, spot plus 115 or less, like I said, in larger quantities on Gold Eagles. But there's better deals out there. Let's see what Maple Leafs are at right now. Maple Leafs, gold. And let me see where those are at. Looks like maples are going to be around spot plus $93 or less. So don't pay more than $93 over spot on gold maple leafs. Again, in quantities, we have them for less as well. But even better than this product right here. Oh, I'm running a special, by the way. I've got them until I'm running out of them. Hang on. I can, again, beat the pants off of just about anybody on Krugerrands right now. I've got a bunch left over here. I don't know how long I'll have them for, but those are going to run you the spot price plus $90 per ounce or less. Actually, I got them on special right now. Sell them for small quantities at spot plus $85. I think that's cheaper than anyone else has them out there if you're interested in them. And what's the best deal out there, in my opinion? 1 ounce generic gold bars, and that would be Valcombi, Swiss, or Perths. All the 1 ounce bars. I would avoid the buying the fractional pieces. The premiums are still too high on those. But 1 ounce gold bars, best deal. I would say you can pick those up for what is it, 70, 80, spot plus $75 or less. I mean, how do you beat that? Compared to a Silver Eagle, you can buy one of these gold bars for plus almost, let me think here, 75, 100, almost, but not quite. You can get this plus 1.5 ounces of silver for the same price that you would pay for a Gold Eagle. So which do you think is a better deal? The important thing is buying this stuff from reputable dealers. Again, try to avoid buying it online. There are some fakes out there, folks, and some good stuff. This is why I always encourage people to buy from reputable people that are online. If the deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Well, that's it, I think, for product. If you got any questions about particular products, feel free to ask me in the comment section below, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. I'd like to thank everybody for watching yesterday's video, which is graded certified coins. Are they worth it? I talked about pre-1933 gold, how I felt that it was probably overpriced at these levels and not a good deal for most people. If you're interested in that, you can watch yesterday's video. And if you would, hit that like and subscribe button as well. It really helps me know who's watching and all that good stuff. Not too many comments out here. And let's see. I'd like to thank all these folks for watching here. And I'm just seeing if there's any questions here. I have 200-year-old, not sure what coins. Can you tell me where to sell them? Liberty 1788 year. Not sure what those are. I would recommend, Gopi, that you bring them into your local shop. He'll be able to tell you what they are, and I'm sure he won't charge you anything for that. Hey, John, what's up? Brian, appreciate everyone watching here. And I'm just seeing if you guys have asked me any questions here. I didn't get a chance to kind of go through this, but I'd like to thank everybody here that commented and all you folks for your comments and watching, and I appreciate that. Well, we're going to call it quits for right now, and as I said, this is my theme for the year. Think for yourself, question authority, and question yourself. Whose narrative are you living? Is it your own or someone else's? Always good to question authority for sure, but questioning yourself is a good thing as well. Hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day, and if you live in South Florida and you want to buy or sell precious metals or rare coins, call me at 954-493-8811 between the hours of 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. Happy to help you out with anything you need. Hey, again, thanks for watching, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.